Hey everybody, I got another review for you today, and I haven't done a beer review in a while, and I think this is worth trying again. I had some the other day. The day the power went out, I bought a 12 pack of Budweiser, and honestly I don't think I've drank a Budweiser in 8 years, 9 years. I've always been drinking Coors or the microbrews, and there was a sale on it, and I actually bought it, and I was actually surprised and shocked on how good it was compared to the way it was before. I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of shit from people about that, but Budweiser was taken over by I think it's called InBev or something like that, InBev Corp. The guys who do Stella Artois, whatever you call it. It's a Belgium company, and they took over Anheuser-Busch. And let's read what it says. This is our famous Budweiser beer. We know of no other brand by any other brewer which costs so much to brew and age is our exclusive Beechwood aging process. A taste, you see it's blocked off here with this new advertising here, that's smooth and the drinkability you will find in no other beer. And I gotta say, it was really smooth. I wasn't really paying attention to how many beers I was drinking, and next thing you know, all 12 beers were gone, which I was a little shocked. I went to the fridge to get a beer, and I was like, holy shit, I drank them all. So let's take a look at this. This is the new miniature 12 pack of 8 ounce bottles. I got a funny story. The first time, and I want to say I was 14 or 15. The first time I ever got drunk in my entire life was on Budweiser beer. We went out and we bought a couple cases. They used to be called Nips, and that's these. I think they're 7 or 8 ounces. I think they're 8 ounces. They're little bottles like this big, and I bought a case of these for myself. Now, mind you, I never drank before, so I had no concept of how much you could drink and what would get you sick. So I knocked off, I want to say, more than 3/4 of the case, and I was never so sick in my whole life. I was sick for forever. But as I grew older, I learned that whole thing, how to pace yourself. But Budweiser, it is what it is. There, it's not like a super duper beer like a Bass Ale or a Heineken or something like that, or a lager beer from Canada. It's suds, like Miller Suds, Bud, Miller Light, Miller Genuine Draft, Coors. That's suds. It's a pretty pale beer, and people drink it because it goes down smooth on a hot day. It's not a filling beer, and you can actually pound a lot of them down, which I'm not recommending you do. But let's check out what we have here and see where it was made, because I know they're making some of it in Canada now, and I was curious if there would be a difference in the taste. And I'm telling you, since this InBev took it over, it tastes a lot better. Like I said, a lot of people are like, oh, that's blasphemy, but I call it the way I see it. Now look at this little guy. Let me see if I can get another can to give you a representation of how much of a difference in size this is. This is the 12 ounce can. You see, there's a big difference. This is what we made the Jackass lantern out of the other day. Big difference in size, and it's a different looking can. Let's see what it says in the can here. Brewed by original natural process using the choicest hops, rice, and best barley and malt. And it is... where's it made? It says St. Louis, Missouri, but most likely it's the Newark Brewery, because we're in New Jersey. Why would they bring it down from St. Louis if it was the Newark Brewery, if we're here in New Jersey? Yeah, it's the Newark Brewery. But look at that little guy. That's pretty cool, huh? Nips always felt good in your hand. They're little beers, It just, I think it's more of a novelty. I used to see a lot of old guys would have like a nip or two nips a day when they couldn't drink a lot of beer anymore. So let's pop it open. We have the wide mouth top on there, and the new crown on the top, on the pop top. And it's strange to have a beer that has absolutely no smell. It smells like nothing. Let's give it a taste. That is actually the best Budweiser I've ever had. I couldn't compare it to tap Budweiser because a lot of times the guys they don't clean the taps very often, so you get sour beer or stinky beer. But this is very crisp and very fresh, and it's making me take another look at Budweiser. Um, is it an American classic? Sure it is. And Belgium's they're fantastic brewers, and I think if they had anything to do with the company, the quality would go up. A lot of people, oh, it's gotta be American made, and I agree with a lot of that stuff. But the thing about Budweiser is they did all their marketing in the United States. They didn't push their product anywhere else other than I believe Africa too. So it was the United States, Africa, and that was it. And that's I think that's where they went astray and they got bought out. Um, but it's hard. I think even Miller Brewing Company is owned by a South African company, I believe now. Um, it's hard to find an American beer. But you know, will it affect my decision on buying beer? No, not at all. I drink beers from all around the world. I'm not beer prejudiced. I don't carry that stuff around with me. I think that kind of boils down to, and this is I'm drifting off the subject here, but it's an important thing when we talk about racism. I think racism is so fucking dumb, and it's such a stupid concept engineered by stupid people. You can't judge someone by the color of their skin. Every person, you can't put a stereotype on it and judge them for what they look like. Uh, I've worked with some of my best culinary teams in hotels. It looked like the fucking mod squad. I had so much diversity. I mean, every color under the rainbow, and every person brought something to the table that was different and unique. And I think the same thing goes for beer. I know that's a little bit of a stretch there, but the same thing goes for beer. Beers from all over the world. You have the opportunity to try all different kinds of beer, all different ways of making it, all different ingredients that go inside of it, and it's like an adventure. Well, it's a beer related adventure. It's not like you're climbing a mountain, but to pop a beer from another country, it's just you don't know what you're gonna get. You may hate it, you may love it. A lot of times I love it. I was in Ireland, and this was in 1993, and I was pounding back Guinness every single night and Harp every single night, and I think it was Murphy's too. And I just got sick of it, and I went to one bar, and the place was actually it was a hotel, it was a castle, and I forget the name of the place. And everything out there is heated with something called peat. Not like they're burning peat. Well, peat is like a turf. It's like they grow it in bogs, and it's they dig it out of the ground. It's like grass. Then they dry it out in bricks because there's not that many trees or coal there. And what they do is they heat all the houses with this stuff peat. So when you walk in the house or you walk into any establishment, there's like a cloud of freaking smoke. It's completely unhealthy, and it smells like a bonfire at the beach. It's kind of strange. Where was I going with this? Oh, okay. All right, I'm back on track here. I went into one bar and I sat down. A cute little bartender. She was cute, and she just got fascinated with me. Because I'm all that and a bag of chips. No, it's because they don't really ever see fat people around in Europe. You don't see fat people. Fat people's an American thing, and especially tall fat people. I remember when I was walking through Dublin, uh, a couple of things that struck me that were completely unusual was It's a busy Dublin day. There's thousands of people on the street, and I'm literally towering 3 feet over every single person. I didn't come across one person in Ireland who was even close to my height, and wore sunglasses. Nobody wears sunglasses. Everybody was looking at me like I was like a professional football player or some kind of celebrity, not just a fat guy. I had a good time out there, and I'm still drifting off the subject. I'm talking to this bartender, and I asked her if she had a bud, and she looked at me with this crazy look on her face, like what? And I'm like, a Budweiser. And she goes in the back and she pulls out an 8 pack of these little, not cans, little bottles, and she was charging me the same price as a full imported beer. And I was like, why are you charging this much? I know back home I get a 12, I mean yeah, I think it was a 12, no, it was an 8 pack of these little bottles, and it was I want to say it was like $5 or something like that, and she's whacking me like three and change a piece. And she's like, oh, because they're imported. I didn't even think about that. Budweiser being imported. And I was drinking them, and she took them. They were actually warm at the time. She took them and she put them inside a sink full of ice and cooled them off for me. And she goes, well, how many do you want? And I was like, all of them. Put them all in there. And I drank the beers, and I was rapping with her. I was on vacation with my dad. And I tell you, man, real buzzkill when it comes to chicks, that guy. Major cock blocker. But, it was something that I missed when I got away from America, and I was there for quite a while. I really missed Budweiser beer, and I really missed a lot of American things, because over there, what I found is also they don't eat lunch, which I thought was shocking. Maybe that's why they're all in such good shape and we're such fat fuckers. It's because we eat too much. But I've got way off the subject here. The beer itself is actually really, really good now, and I would continue to drink this. Hmm. I'm really shocked. And that's it for me today. Later.